Your Excellency Mr. Itapol Kumplom, Minister of Culture of Kingdom of Thailand, Your Excellency Mr. Huang Dong Quang, Vice Minister of Culture, Sports, Tourism of Social Republic of Vietnam, Mr. Shiguri Ayogi, Director of UNESCO Office in Bangkok, Mr. Lazal Ilwanda Akom, Director Cultural of Emergency Entity and the Secretary of 1970 Convention, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to represent the government of Mongolia at the Asia-Pacific Regional Conference dedicated for the 50th anniversary of the 1970 UNESCO Convention on the means of forbidding and preventing the illicit import, export and the transfer of the ownership of the cultural property. On behalf of Government of Mongolia and myself, I would like to expand the best wishes to the government, delegates, scholars, experts, and the Secretariat of the Convention and all of you attending in this conference and making a contribution to fighting illicit trafficking of the cultural property. In 1991, Mongolia ratified the 1970 UNESCO Convention on the means of forbidding and preventing the illicit import, export and the transfer of ownership of the cultural property. Since the country, with the help of international experts, recovered a number of valuable paleontological findings and cultural artifacts that were smuggled across the border, we have gained a noble experience and made a considerable effort to combat the illicit trafficking and cultural property. In particular, starting from 2009, with the support of UNESCO Beijing office and the Monaco Fund and Trust, in the framework of strengthening the Mongolian capacity to fight against the illicit trafficking of cultural objects, Mongolia successfully implemented the Heritage in Box Toolkit for teachers in Mongolia context to educate the children and youth on heritage and its protection. Based on the successful implementation of this project in cooperation with the UNESCO Beijing office, we are aiming to expand the scope of this project to national level. Mongolia is a country with an ancient history of nomadic civilization, rich culture, and natural heritage. However, rapid transformation of traditional lifestyle along with the development of globalization and urbanization endangering Mongolian tangible and intangible heritage. In particular, there is a lack of awareness of importance of heritage, especially among the young people. Therefore, I believe that it is important to make children and youth aware of value of the heritage in order to combat illicit trafficking of heritage. As you are aware, illegal transportation of cultural properties are not new and is prohibited all around the world. Nonetheless, illicit import and export is rapidly spreading around the world. In some countries, monetary value of cultural properties rising sharply as demand for cultural properties increasing and the new sales are opening up around the world. UN Sustainable Development Goals state that by 2030, significantly reduce illicit financial and arms flow, strengthen the recovery and return of stolen assets, and combat all forms of organized crime. Within the framework of Sustainable Development Goals, to ratify the 1995 UNIDROIT Convention and on the stolen or illegal export of the cultural objects and the 2001 UNESCO Convention on the Protection of the Underwater Cultural Heritage, the government of Mongolia has reflected the objectives in its 2022-2024 action plan and established a unit in a law enforcement agency to combat crime against the cultural heritage. Taking this opportunity, I would like to extend our sincerest gratitude to the UNESCO Beijing office and the Secretariat of the 1970 Convention for cooperating with us in this endeavor. And I firmly believe that our cooperation in the protection of cultural heritage will continue to expand and make progress in our joint effort at the regional level. It is essential for countries to work together to combat the illicit trafficking of cultural property and to further develop and strengthen the system for cross-border international cooperation to protect the rightful interests of the humanity. I believe that through this conference and our shared experience, we will make a valuable contribution to bringing the fight against crime, violation and illicit trafficking of cultural property to a new international level, especially with the participation of regional cooperation mechanism. As soon as we successfully overcome these new challenges of COVID-19 pandemic, I hope we will have an opportunity to meet in person and exchange viewpoint. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the staff of the UNESCO Bangkok office for hosting the conference online, and I would like to wish you all the success to the conference. Finally, we express our readiness to work together at all levels to combat illicit trafficking of cultural property. Thank you.